We're going to take a look at a scenario, a possible scenario that may come up with a coach. We're going to move into a couple of breakout rooms, and then we'll practice using the sample agenda of ways to address the situation. So in each of the rooms, there'll be, we'll have one person will serve as the executive coach. We'll have someone serving as the alum, and then someone else serving as the process observer. So if you're the executive coach, you're using the sample agenda and the focus, which I'll share on the next screen. You're looking at probing questions. So there are some resources in the toolkit that you can use or that are in your own toolkit. As the alum, you are describing the current state of the problem and what support is needed. And as a process observer, you're going back to that question, how did that make you feel by experiencing that? And what feedback can you share within the group? So from the agenda, there were 5 parts to page 3 if you're on the toolkit. We're only going to take a look at the first 2, assuming that the relationship has already been built, assuming that this is now the 3rd session that you're going into. So this is not, hi, how are you? You've already introduced yourself. You have a good rapport and a relationship that's already been built. And in this first session, you are trying to really figure out the practice that you're going to focus on. You're going to ask questions to think about how to come up with the real practice that the alum needs to work on. And then you're going to think about, out of all of those conversations, what are some key actions needed to really enhance the practice? How can you come up with a specific action step to be able to think about how to solve the problem, and helping the alum to be able to create that particular action plan? So if you have your email, there is a document in your email called Scenario.
I'm happy to do it.
All right, we have Caitlin in that seat. We just need an alum.
Well, of course, I could just play an alum.
I
am one.
All right, we have Michelle, and then the rest of us will serve as the observers.
Caitlin, I'm so excited to connect with you today. I just want to tell you what just happened in the district, and I just need your feedback on how do I manage this? As you know, I oversee different schools. Most of my leaders don't look like me. I am trying to move the district into thinking differently about the work that we are doing. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit of pushback. And so I just wonder, is it my leadership style or how I'm taking the approach to the change management? I don't know what it is, but I'm not seeing the readiness from my team. And I just am feeling very frustrated right now. So what do you think I should be thinking about or doing better?
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I can imagine that would be incredibly frustrating and challenging. I know that you've had a lot of success in some of the sort of larger stage pieces. What is your sense of the differences in maybe some of the scenarios and what might be driving how people are receiving? Do you have any kind of keys to what might be different in those settings, the larger settings and then these smaller team meetings?
So I feel like I get energy from a lot of people, and I feel like I can command the room in the larger space. I think when I get to the smaller space where I'm really trying to help push the work, I feel nervous around there is more ability for them to do pushback on me. And so I'm nervous about how hard to go, how fast to go, because it's easy to be like, so Michelle, they can push back in the bigger space. No one's gonna really raise their hand and be like, we don't want to do this, but in small.
I got you. I got you. And I'm wondering too if there are ways that you could. One of the strategies that's been successful for me in kind of similar situations is socializing the ideas before going into the team meeting, and sort of informally building some allies and or getting that feedback before you hit the team meeting. Is that something that might make sense for you, or could work if it's a group of 4, getting getting in front of 1 or 2 of them before heading into that meeting to sort of socialize it and get preliminary feedback so you're a little more aligned going into the session?
So I have not done that. And if there's like a person that's more difficult, should I be like going with them first, or go with the person that I know that usually like is more aligned to me? Who do you think I should like connect with first?
Yeah. I think it it probably will vary a little bit situation to situation, and I can already tell by the fact that you're thinking about that you're sort of keyed into it, and you'll probably have a sense for where it makes sense. But sometimes it's helpful to go with the person who is least resistant and sort of get their feedback and work out some of those pieces, so that when you go to the person you expect to be a bit more difficult or skeptical, you can say, I had a really productive conversation with Sonia, and we sort of talk about the feedback and the sort of how you've worked to update from your original proposal to then. And then you're also showing that you're already kind of getting buy-in from other people on the team, so they can feel more comfortable accepting and kind of getting on board with the idea. But I think sometimes having that private space to give feedback can be really beneficial, and then sets you up for success once you're in front of the team.
Sounds awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. I'm so glad that we can connect today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, both of you all, for being able to share. So we definitely heard a lot of probing questions, right? Some to be able to get to the heart of the matter, and probably in terms of next steps, just thinking about what might you want the alum to be able to do in the time away, right? So she kind of agreed to some of those things. You might want to push her in that direction to think about what that will actually look like, or what she may actually try from now to the next time that you guys connect again.